This video is not intended for people under the age of 13 as the game is rated T for teen. Hey you guys, it's Bree Simulated here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. Today we're going ahead and filming probably one of the last for a while tiny home speed build videos. So this one here is the infamous micro home. So for this build I decided I obviously had to go ahead and just make it a little bit easier for myself by only doing a one sim house, but this sim does have a dog. Now when you think about it, dogs probably do require more space than cats in a way, like in real life, but in The Sims, cats need a litter box, which takes up like a whole tile and a bit to have room for them to get in and out of it, whereas dogs go to the potty outside. So basically all dogs need are a food bowl and a bed, and they don't even really need the bed because they can just sleep on the floor. But I gave a bed anyway, but you know, they basically just need a bowl. That's all they need. The rest of the needs can be met by your sim taking them for walks, playing with them, cuddling them, and they can go to the toilet outside. So that's all you need. So you can see me making our lovely sim Belle Carson and the little corgi who I ended up naming Mango, sort of because, you know, she's got that little orangey yellowy color to her coat. But here she is. She is gorgeous. I love her. I wanted to make her look like a really girly dog. Like her and her mom are just so girly and like spend time together. My main goal with this tiny home, which is actually a micro home, was to go really outside of my comfort zone with building, just do something a bit wacky and use some wacky shapes and styles. And it was really hard to get the shapes, just number one, to be wacky, and number two, to be functional whilst being wacky and meeting the requirements of the size of the lot. So I played around a lot and I basically had this sort of shape here, and it wasn't really working with like how are we going to get into the building. So what I ended up having to go ahead and do is flip it around. And so you basically have, there's multiple entrance points for each level aside from the top. So you can enter the bottom floor through the door that is on the ground floor level. But at the front of the house, you are greeted by a stairway that takes you up to the second floor. That usually indicates that the second floor is like the living room or the kitchen, like that's where most people would be walking. But the second floor is actually her bathroom. Also, I used a lot of glass roofs to try and like incorporate a bit more of like a funky open feel to make the house feel a little bit bigger. So you can see we got a section of the top of the roof, which is a skylight. That sits directly above her bed, which I think is so gorgeous. And then the other half is on like the opposite end of the bathroom. So it sort of allows a lot of light to be brought into that room because it does have to be kind of closed off because of the privacy situation. But I wanted to go with an industrial vibe because I think this is mainly inspired by those stairs and Get to Work. Like I feel like I just do not use Get to Work as often as I should. Like Get to Work is an underrated pack. I'm going to say it. It's awesome. So I just decided to go for a really industrial feel. It's not something I do very often. I'm a bit more of like traditional or just straight modern, but I feel like this industrial feel really worked. Now I was trying to do like a fire escape ladder kind of feel going up the back to really top off that industrial feel, but I didn't have enough tiles. I needed to add a tile in like manually, but because I couldn't, because I was at 32 tiles and I didn't want to change the shape of the house, I couldn't add a staircase from the outside going up to the second floor. So you have to get, to the third floor. You have to get to the third floor from inside. So the only way to get to the third floor is to go up one of the two external staircases in that door, and you walk through the bathroom and then up the stairs to your bedroom. Now, the only thing that's up there is her bedroom, so she'll be the only one doing that anyway. And I imagined her to be a little bit of a loner, and if she does have friends, she would often just go out for brunch, go for walks with them, you know, go to museums. She'd be that kind of friend, not the kind who likes to have people over her house anyway. She's a bit of a neat freak and a bit, you know, different in her styling, so maybe she's just a bit more reserved and likes to keep her house really private. As you can see by the crazy movements of the camera, I could not for the life of me figure out this floor plan. I was really trying to avoid having that staircase inside but I just didn't really have a way to do it unless I had a really wacky staircase going like 3 stories high, and that just didn't seem practical at all. Even less practical than the fact that you already have to go like outside. Like, let's think about it. If you're on the bottom floor having your dinner, you have to go outside to go up to your bathroom and bedroom, but like once you're in your bedroom, you can go down to the bathroom without going outside. So I thought that was the better option. Originally, I was going to do the bathroom on the bottom floor, but I soon decided that it just didn't make much sense to have to go outside every time you need to go to the toilet, although I know that some people have to do that with outhouses and whatnot, but that's not my vibe. I hate that so much. So I decided that downstairs would be the kitchen and sort of living room, maybe also where she could work from home. I've said this in every build, but I imagine her to work from home, or maybe like part-time work from home, part-time go to her workplace. So she has a desk here, a computer desk and chair, so she can sit there and she can get her fun from that, her social from that, and she can work to earn money, writing books, social media, anything like that. And then we have her kitchen. So I wanted this level to be really bright and colorful because it is quite separate from the rest of the house. So it didn't matter if the colors didn't match or go together with the other rooms, because it's going to be the only room, like it's the only room here. So it only has to look good within itself. So I did play around with the colors a lot, which appliance I should have be what color. So I did cut a lot of that out because I changed it about 100 times. You'll see the final colors in the screenshots, but I did decide to go ahead and do a dual washer and dryer because I thought it would just be a bit of a challenge. And also I could have put like a table there or something, but then the desk wouldn't have been as accessible. And I feel like it makes sense that at least she's got all of her like needs met in a sense, because you need to wash your clothes, you need to eat, you need to cook. She does have the foodie trait, so it makes sense that the whole like area of this house is mainly just for cooking. And then the middle floor is her bathroom, which I had a lot of trouble doing. The bathroom is actually, I was talking about privacy before, but it's actually pretty open. She obviously does have blinds and whatnot, and anything that is she's going to be using and need privacy is sort of tucked away from most of the windows and stuff. But there are curtains over the bathroom area that you can pull across. As you can see, I go ahead and place down a fence and then place a, what do you call that? It's not a banister, it's a, I forget what it's called. It's like what you would do on the outside of like a balcony underneath. You do those in between the columns and stuff. I honestly can't remember the name of them. But if you place a fence, you can place it in gaps like that. I use it a lot to create more fancy archways than just having an open room without having to actually use an archway object. And I just used that so there was a bit of a support beam so it didn't look as funny when I put curtains there. So then I put some curtains on those walls to pretend that if she did have guests over, or if she felt like people could see in her house through her windows and doors, she can go ahead and close those over while she's in the bathroom. You can only assume that the inside of the curtains would be like plastic, not fabric, because otherwise they would get moldy really quick. And there is a like window there where I put a little shearer curtain, which doesn't make a lot of sense, but I don't know. I just felt like putting blinds didn't really make a lot of sense on those arch windows. But yeah, I was really happy that I could get another window in that kitchen slot there, and I feel like it made the front of the house look a little bit less boring. But she is a foodie who loves the outdoors, so one of my main focuses was making sure that the outside of her house was a lot more put together. The other great thing is, even if you do a micro home where you can only have 32 tiles, you can obviously use unlimited tiles outside of the house. So we could go ahead and have a garden back here, an outdoor eating and cooking area, and a lot of room for her to do activities and her dog to run around and play and go potty. And it's just a really nice green luscious backyard that you can tell she takes a lot of care of because everything's quite prim and proper. Here's her little gardening area where she'll go ahead and grow some plants. I just downloaded some off the gallery. And I just imagine she's the type of sim who, yeah, really likes to keep to herself, keep her house well maintained and clean. Maybe a bit of a perfectionist, like she doesn't like people coming over because when they come over, they touch all her stuff and like move it. I was going to put the bins there, but it sort of defeated the purpose of the second stairwell. Like I sort of put the second stairwell there so you could go around the house that way if you had to from the top little porch area. I just felt like it made the house a little bit more accessible considering that you can't get to the downstairs unless you go outside. So, you know, if you were in your pajamas, maybe you would like go around that way rather than walking down the front staircase. But out here, I just wanted to get a dining table because we obviously do not have one inside. I did put a laptop down on her desk instead of a computer because I imagined if it was raining and you wanted her to eat inside, what you could do is they can eat at the desk while the computer's on the desk. Like they'll just eat through the keyboard or they'll hold it. But I thought you could just put her laptop in her inventory or something like that. And then while she is eating, you can just go ahead and have her sit at the desk and then put the laptop back after she's done eating. That was just a thought of mine. That's a good idea why I've been going with some laptops lately. So you do have that extra room. I did it in the single mum build because I thought, well, then if the son has to do his homework and he wants to do it on that desk, she can just put the laptop in her inventory and then he can work from there. But yes, as you can see, the bathroom's really coming together. I used the university shower and base game sink and tiny living toilet and just sort of all shoved it in there with move objects on. Now, the dog bowl and bed, as you see it in this shot and in the screenshots, I believe, don't work. I did playtest the game after. I did have to move the bowl so she can reach it. And I think the dog can get to the bed, but she can't like command the dog to get to the bed because she can't get to it. But I mean, the dog was just sort of like sleeping on the ground in the whole entire testing period anyway. So I think he's all good, or she, sorry, it's all good. And you know what? We've got a chair up in our bedroom that she can sleep on. So Mango is welcome to sleep anywhere she likes. There's plenty of spots, but her bed, I don't know if it's 100% functional, but you know what? Whatever, you can always just drag it out into a different spot, like when you're wanting her to sleep on it. And I also thought there was no point in like making the house different just to fit pet items because not everyone who downloads this house might not have a pet. So you can just delete those and put a plant there or something. Now, up in her bedroom, I really, really love her bedroom because I feel like it's really light and airy, but I wanted to create a sense of privacy up here since it's all open down to the bathroom. So I went ahead and gave her this bed here that has the little lacy curtains. So I imagined if she just wanted a little bit more privacy to feel a little bit more segregated from the rest of the house, she can just go ahead and pull down those curtains on the bed frame. She's got a lovely, lovely dresser and mirror. I really wanted to use like the copper tones. And also the bedroom does change a little bit. I change it afterwards when I'm playtesting because this TV unit doesn't fit here and I put a lamp here that also wasn't working. So I end up using the wall-mounted TV and a different lamp, I believe. And I use a lot more wall lamps. I do have like the subtool saucer lamp light above right now, but it's actually sitting where the skylight is, so it doesn't make a ton of sense. So what I do is I add those big dangly lights in the left-hand corner of like her bed that goes right above where the stairwell is. So I imagine you wouldn't hit your head with it when you're going up the stairs, but it's at the right level where when she's like reading in bed, it would help illuminate her bedroom. And she's got a little lamp there as well. Just getting in some greenery. And I just really love the like industrial exposed brick kind of style. I think it just is something a little bit different that I never do before. So I hope that you like it. She does have a TV in her bedroom and a little stool that she can sit on. And I imagine the dog can probably sit on that or sleep on it. I'm not sure. But she's got her TV in there with a stool so she can sit and watch it if she likes. But I imagine she would mostly be the type of sim to just like watch YouTube or SimTube on her computer or on her phone. Play like with her dog and go outside and garden for fun instead of watching TV. Like she probably barely ever uses it. But I just think this house is so cute. I'd really love to play in it. I have a current household for December that I was going to upload this month and then upload in February my January one, but I actually didn't get the chance to play with The Sims very much at all this month. I was playing Planet Zoo for the good first half, and I've been really busy working very much full-time since like before Christmas, so just been really, really struggling with finding time to do like anything. Sorry, there was like a fly in my room and I thought it was going to attack me. Anyway, I just didn't play Sims very much. I played minorly with Tiny Living, but you've seen all of the families I've been playing with. I play with them for maybe like one sim day and then I have to go to bed. So here are the screenshots. This is a really, really tiny home. It is the micro home, so you reap a lot of benefits from living in this small house that I think will make it worth the tininess. And the backyard's beautiful and luxurious, so it makes up for any hassles anyway, I believe. You know, she's also got a little easel out there just to paint for fun. I think this house is really, really cute. If you want to download it off the gallery, my ID is Bree Simulated, and all of the tiny homes and families that I've made are on the gallery now, so feel free to download them. I'm going away to New Zealand on Saturday, so I am going to miss you guys, but I hope you have a very snazzy day, and I'll speak to you guys when I get back. Bye!